you can see a lot of guys making a lot of jumps. So it's good, just to be able to install, especially on defense, a new system and see who's learning it and how they're responding. And I'm glad we did it.
How will you manage your scrimmage dates here, just kind of with the early start and then the spring break coming up ahead?
Yeah, we'll kind of take it day by day. We have a couple of Saturdays left, so we'll do some stuff on those days, and obviously the spring game we'll get some live action there. But really, for me right now, it's as much making sure that everybody kind of understands exactly what's being asked of them. So we had some competitive periods today at the end, just to sort of see how guys respond when live bullets are flying.
I know it's early, but how do you see those QBs kind of feed off each other?
Yeah, I mean they're all really good players and all really good dudes, and so I think the quarterback room, there's a lot expected of them, from Glenn and then from Dana. I think that they're learning each day, coaching each other. So I've been pleased with the group, and it's a really solid room.
We asked you a lot about Anthony last week, but how do you see TJ taking his starting experience from last year and now pushing it forward, in the spring? Yeah,
I think when you look at TJ, obviously the physical development is really impressive. And then I think once you've played in the game, and started games, the urgency of how fast you have to play and make decisions, with the rush bearing down on you, that's the biggest transition. And so, he got those games at the end of the year to really have that opportunity, and he's healthy now, and he knows what's expected of him, and so I think he's doing a great job. And I think you could say the same thing for Danny. He had a chance to start this year at Virginia. So all three of those guys, because they've started, they sort of know the speed of the game. They know how fast they have to process things, and I think it changes the tempo with which you play in practice, especially when you're not getting hit in practice.
With Danny, how have you seen him just get reacclimated to being back here?
Well, I mean, even when Danny was away, I think some of his best friends were still on this team. I think anytime he was home, he was always around these guys. So I don't think there's a person in the building that wasn't happy to see Danny back here. So to me, he's the true definition of a Cornhusker. He grew up. He loves this program, loves this place, loves the university, loves the state, and he's out there competing, and it's almost like he never left, to be quite honest.
If someone was seeing Calandria at practice for the first time, what would be the first things they'd notice?
I think the energy and sort of the playmaking ability that he has. When they bring pressures, he's able to either get the ball out or get outside the pocket and extend plays. So, he plays fast. He's got a lot of, when I say energy, it's easy to be excited. It's hard to have energy every day, and I think he has a lot of energy, and a very competitive player as well.
Coach, with Owen Stoudemire, played in 3 games last year, had some injuries. What's his status right now, and what's the vision for him on the defensive front in the fall?
Yeah, Owen's been a very productive player in college football. Comes from a great program, with the strength coach Fitz at Boston College, and obviously Coach Bill O'Brien. So he's come from a program that does things the right way. So to me, he's a very mature player. He's full go. He's out there playing and practicing, and I think he gives us a big, powerful man inside, and we're excited to have him.
Coach, you were at the combine. Did you get a chance to see Emmett? And when you guys go out there, what's your main focus when you stop in something like the NFL combine?
Yeah, so we finished Thursday practice, and we flew up afterwards. It's really different. It used to be you just really went there to support your guys. A lot of teams might have questions. The feedback I've gotten on Emmett, just how well he's interviewed. The feedback I've gotten on Deshaun from the Senior Bowl, how well he's interviewed, I think is really good. As you see scouts and personnel directors and GMs, able to give some insight into who they really are. If there's anything that's out there that maybe is negative, you can hopefully dispel it, because sometimes that happens. So it was great to be there and see them. It's different now in that it used to be I would go every time I've had a player in it. I've always tried to go and do those two things. Now you probably spoke with 30 agents on Thursday night and Friday during the day, because they represent high school players now, and so it was a business trip for us. Pat Stewart went, Keith Williams went, Logan Holgerson went. Probably could argue we could have been up there for 3 days. Excuse me, just with the amount of guys that we who represent pro players and also represent college players. able to get a lot of meetings with those guys, just not only for this year, but for years moving forward.
What do you talk about with them?
With the agents, either specific players. So some of them represent guys on our team, or specific players that we're recruiting that they represent, or just more, kind of a global picture. We find out a lot of what other schools are doing. We're still in a day and age where a lot of things that are happening are kind of, you hear rumors about, but some, you can't really call up your competitors and other college coaches and GMs and say, hey, what are you guys doing? You don't get a lot of information that way. But I think talking to agents who rep players, in terms of creative ways other people are doing things, best practices. And, I think the one good thing, one of the many good things, is a lot of these agents have been on campus, whether they come on a portal visit, whether they come in the summer now. It used to be, it was just the player and his family. Now sometimes it's the player and his reps. Sometimes it's the player, his family, and his reps. So a lot of them have seen the facilities. They've seen, how great Lincoln is, how great Omaha is. So there's some, they can then carry that forward to other players. When there's maybe some interest in Nebraska, hey, I've been there. This is what it's like. And so I think it's really all of the above, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I have a question about Jason Shiggs. How did you guys kind of find him? He was at Towson, I know you guys have scouts up there, but how is he looking? And then how did you guys find him?
Yeah, so his high school coach obviously sent Mekhi Bear here, sent Justin Evans here. Coach Smoke's one of the best. He's a guy I've known a long time. I trust him. And when he told me he had a player that was in the portal, that hey, you guys would like to take a look at this guy. Just watch the tape. He was on his way to another visit, got that visit canceled, and got him in with us. And I think he's doing a nice job as well. I think for some of those guys who just got here, the first thing you notice is just sort of their habits, their day to day, some of their traits. Now it's really about, hey, within this defense, can you execute it? Can you kind of get all the different things done? And he's learning, he's growing, he's developing. But kind of going back to the previous conversation, just sort of a lot of those relationships with guys that you have over time. Whether it's, like I said, whether it's a high school player, it's a 7-on-7 coach, whether it's a trainer, whether it's an agent, we've been fortunate to be doing this for a while, and so we have a lot of friends that we trust, and so he brought him up and watched the tape and really liked what he did, and obviously coming here, just the resources, the food, all the things that we have, you can see that sometimes with the guys who've come from FCS, just the growth that they can make physically, almost in what Kristen does and what Corey does.
I'm curious, how did your new practice fields hold up over the winter, practicing out there in February?
They're fantastic. You have to give a lot of credit to Courtney Gaucher and all the people who do the grass fields. I mean, there've been a couple springs here where we couldn't practice outside, because we were doing some work, and I think there was I think snow on the ground as of like Sunday and Monday, and they were out there, shoveling the snow off the grass fields, to be able to get them clean. Then, like I said, we were able to. Maybe it was through Wednesday, but we were able to be on the fields on Thursday, and then we kind of went back and forth today a little bit. So, really a good investment by the athletic department, I think, to put in good fields.
Like Stoudemeyer, Dexter Foster missed time last year. How's that picture look? Is he full go too?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yep,
How's that look to you?
Yeah, Dexter's he's a really good player. He's physical. He's athletic. He's made a lot of plays, and I think he's doing a nice job. He's learning everything. It's a different defense for him, and I think he's learning it quickly. And excited about his prospects.
How big is that challenge for Rob? I've never asked you. How big is that challenge for Rob to implement a defense in the spring?
I think he knows his defense. He knows. There's not a lot of gray area. It's something that he owns. He's not putting something new in, so I think he's able to teach it well. I think the coaches are doing a good job. So and when you think about a defense, it's everything from the X's and O's all the way down to this is how we teach tackling. Here's when we want you to tackle high, when we want you to tackle low. Here's how we want to disrupt the ball and cause fumbles, and et cetera, et cetera. So he's extremely detailed. And I sit in, I think I said the other day, I sit in his position meetings just so I can hear not even just the overall, but just hey, how he's teaching the minute details, and I think he does a great job. And I think we're pretty far ahead of where I would have hoped to have been.
Daniel Holgerson said this right after you had your presser couple weeks ago about Jamal Rhule, that he might run as well as any of your running backs. What did he mean by that? What have you seen from that freshman?
I'm not sure what he meant to be. I mean, I think all of us have been really impressed with Jamal. I think he's a natural runner. You know, he's a freshman, and he's probably already 210. 208, 210. So he's big, he's fast, he has good vision, very conscientious. You know, I was leaving the other night, and I think it was Wednesday night. He was coming in to, go back through the install one more time and catch some balls in the jug. So he wants to play. So I think he's a really good prospect and a guy that is competing to play.
Does the fact that there's not another portal window coming up change how you talk with players about where they slot in on their positions or how you guys handle reps in practice?
We've always tried to be a group that in the spring gives everyone it goes 3 deep because I think our job is to give players reps. So I don't know that it's necessarily changed that. I mean, they could come in tomorrow and say, hey, there's a new calendar. Things change so fast. So I don't necessarily think it changes that. I think even on the first team, I've always preferred to see, hey, send these 2 D tackles out first. Either the next period or the next practice, send these 2 D tackles out first. Let's get a bunch of pictures of a lot of guys, getting reps with both the ones and the twos, or so. We're like I said, we're in an evaluation phase of both of trying to teach them their technique, teach them the X's and O's on their side of the ball. At the same time, also see what they can do and tailor things to them. Jahsir Whittington, he does special things differently than maybe Riley Van Poppel does, right? And so we want to play to their strengths, and we want to get a lot of guys reps. So I don't think it's necessarily changed. I think if anything, it's kind of reinforced kind of how we've always wanted to do it of getting three groups reps and giving every player reps every day.
What are your thoughts on the portal or the targeting penalty being adjusted potentially? I know that's something that this week they were talking about changing, where the suspension wouldn't carry over to potentially the next game.
Yeah, I think the it'll all come down to the detail of it and how it's executed. But you don't do it in the pros, you don't do it in high school. You only do it in college, where you eject the player. And when they first did it, I thought it had a great change. It changed the game for the better. The knockout, blowout shots are gone. Now what you see is a lot of times where kids just trying to make a good tackle, and the ball carrier changes his level, and it ends up being targeting. And so they've had a lot of, over the years, hey, should we do targeting 1, targeting 2? What should we do? I think this is probably a really good move in the right direction. If just waiting to see how it kind of plays out. But I do think that this is a good thing if it happens.
With Whittington specifically, he's obviously not as big as others, his position, but what did you see from him that makes you think that he can take the next step in his development against Big Ten offensive lines?
Yeah, he's an explosive man. Watching the film of him at Pitt and then seeing him out here now, no concerns, about his size. He's got great explosive movements. He can move laterally, and he kind of plays at one speed. He plays 100 miles an hour, and so I loved his tape, and I've really liked what I've seen so far.
What is was today the first time it's full pads?
No, that was I think we went Tuesday, Thursday, and today all in pads.
Nebraska hired the flag football coaches. Just what are your initial thoughts about those hires for that?
Well, and I don't know both Coach Sowers. I obviously shot Coach a text. Immediately was like, hey, we're here to help in any way. But when I saw the hire and heard that that's the direction we were going, makes a ton of sense to me. Winners know the game at a high level, have a tremendous pedigree already of playing this emerging sport at a really high level. So, they'll join a great group of head coaches here, and they seems like they've done a lot of great things so far. And so to me, looks like it's a home run.
All good.
Good to see you guys.
the challenges with Rob implementing the defense? How do you see it going? And what are the challenges? And how can you help?
Yeah, I think the challenges are just, making sure we're all on the same page every play, making sure we have effective communication from a play-to-play basis. I think I can come in and help because I've been in the defense for a whole year, right? So I've seen most of the looks, most of the sets. I understand pretty much all the communication front to back. So I can pretty much make sure the guys up front and the guys behind me are good every snap. Make sure we're all playing on the same page so we can play fast.
What's your first impressions of that linebacker room you're part of? Obviously, some Dexter and Will joined you
Yeah.
from the portal too.
Yeah, I mean, we're deep. We got some obviously young guys, like you said, like Will and Mooberry are good players, and I think we have a really smart group that's really ready to work. It's probably the most talented group I've been a part of, and I think we're going to do some good things from that room this year.
What have been your early impressions of Nebraska from this place?
It's been great. I think the university is very welcoming, the strongest fan base I've ever been around, just walking around downtown. Like, I've never been recognized in public. That was insane when I first got here. Campus is great. Bigger city than I thought, honestly. Lincoln's a way bigger city. Obviously, I'm coming from San Diego, so different, but much bigger city than I thought, and I love it here.
In terms of the terminology, the play calls, is it exactly the same as what you did at San Diego State, or are there some changes that they made with that here?
It's basically the same. I mean, we made a few tweaks here and there to clear up some discrepancies from call to call, but I think 97% of it's the exact same from when I was at San Diego State.
With Dougal here with you, I mean, how close are you guys, and how much is that going to help to have two levels of the defense have the experience that you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, me and Dwayne love each other. We're tight as can be, man. Obviously, coming from San Diego State together, and it's going to help us tremendously. Obviously, we play in two different parts of the field, so we can get our communication out faster, and I don't really got to turn around because he's back there. I can just talk to the big guys up front.
How are those guys looking, the defensive linemen?
Amazing. I think Pop's done some great things. Sua's done some great things. I think all of them done some really good things. They look big, fast, violent. They look confident. I think that's the biggest thing I see, man. They look as confident as you can be up front. I think that's the biggest thing I've seen from them.
How do you feel like your game translates to the Big Ten?
I think I got the size for it. 6'3" and 238 this morning, so I feel like I'm pretty good size, and I got the mental to go along with it. I think I'm a pretty smart player, and I can anticipate at a pretty high level. Yeah.
If you look at that schedule, at some point, obviously it's a long ways away, but just seeing the names of those Big Ten teams and knowing you're going to go up against them.
Absolutely. I'm as excited as can be. Already watched every game from every team that we're going to play this year. I'm ready to go.
What jumps out at you about those teams?
I think just coming from the Mountain West is a little bit different. I think you see a lot of different offenses. Like you might play Air Force one week, then go play Hawaii, and then go play San Jose State. But I think here in the Big Ten, it's a little bit of similarity from week to week. And they know you got big guys up front, so you're really going to try to run the ball downhill and get a lot of play action out of it.
When did that start for you? That you mentioned that mental part, wanting to be such a student of the game. Did you remember when you're like, I want to take that step as a player?
Yeah, I think when I was in middle school, I started playing safety, and I was watching like Tyrann Mathieu highlights, and he had like a little clip come out about him watching film, and it kind of talked about how he wasn't the biggest or the fastest guy, but he made so many plays at LSU and then obviously in the NFL to how the mental side of the game helped him make those plays, and that's kind of when it started to click. And then when I first got to college, had a lot of really good older guys teach me how to watch film and showed how it translated to their game. So I say it started in middle school.
Do you see, you always hear about the Big Ten's level of physicality.
Yeah.
Does that show up as you're watching it? Do you think about that?
I do think about it. I think I'm a physical player too, so it's not very impactful. But I do say the O-linemen are bigger and faster, more so, you know what I mean? So I think there's a little more power behind people.
Is that what jumps out most in terms of the difference between the Big Ten and the Mountain West?
Yes, sir.
The linemen.
Our O-line's phenomenal. So it's a struggle and a blessing going against those guys every day, but they've definitely shown me what that's going to be like and how fast they move and how they operate. It's impressive.
What are the benefits of starting spring this early? I think you guys started before any team in the country coming out in February.
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, it allows guys to get healthier faster before fall camp. That might be a bigger benefit. And I think guys just want to play football, right? As simple as it sounds, right? Like we want to play football, so the earlier we can get started, I think the more ecstatic guys will be about playing.
there might be a perception that things shut down in April. What's April look like to you guys now, April, May?
I'm pretty sure April we're just going to work out like winter conditioning, as it would have been, and then May is kind of like the players' month off, if you would, and we come back probably end of May to start summer conditioning.
Welcome to Nebraska.
Thank you, sir. Excited to be here. Thank you, guys.
Coach Rhule described Anthony just bring a lot of energy to practice. How have you two just been able to bounce that off of each other?
Just having him, like, first off, the swag he has is different. Like, I love it. You feel me? I feel like he bring another aspect of confidence to the offense. Just him just letting us know that he gonna do whatever it takes, you feel me, for us to take that next step. You know what I'm saying? In the offense. So we believe in him, and yeah, I like the swag he brings. He gonna come out victorious. So I like that he has that mindset going into it, and as long as both of them come in every day and work, I feel like we got a good shot.
What have you seen from Quasi Gilmore with his experience? I mean, it sounds like he's kind of another alpha type personality to add to your room.
Yeah, I love Quaz, man. That's my boy. So we look forward to doing some good things together, me and him. And then we got Zay. He's looking real good right now. Cortez had a big day today. You know what I'm saying? But Quaz, I say just him coming in, he knows a lot. You know what I'm saying? He knows a lot about football. The aspect he brings, helping me with learning a little more. You know what I'm saying? Adding more stuff to my bag. He knows a lot of releases. He do a lot of drill work, a lot of footwork stuff. He brings an older role to the room. And just like me to those young guys, you got an older cat to help you out and guide you. You know what I'm saying? And give him advice and just learn from his game.
With special teams, what do you like about Coach Brett being named special teams coordinator?
Just his history. You know what I'm saying? Just all the adversity he went through in his career. And being that he's a Nebraska native, like it feel like he in a good spot. Like we in a good spot. I feel like it was a good hire. And I'm happy to work for him. You know what I'm saying? He been around. That's my guy. He believe in me, and that's the most important. So I believe in him. So we willing to do whatever it takes this year.
Who else is working with you at kickoff return?
We're not really working kickoff return, so I don't even know who else is, you know what I'm saying, at the position. I know, but yeah, whoever back there, I hope they compete with me and make me better, you know what I'm saying? So
Do you want to do that again? I assume you're interested.
yeah.
in kickoff return.
I'll be back there, yeah. I know, the media, you know what I'm saying, complain a lot about taking it out, but like I don't choose to do that. Like they tell me I just do what I'm coached to do, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I look forward to it.
When it comes to going up against the DBs, who are some DBs that are really sticking with you, giving you fits out there so far?
Our DB room, I feel like we have an elite DB room. We have like 20 defensive backs, a lot of transfers, a lot of good guys. But for me, I would say guys like, y'all haven't seen much of Jameer Khan yet, but he's a great player, you know what I'm saying? And he brings another aspect to the defense, just his knowledge on the game, like the aspects he brings in, the transfers we bring in, guys like Owen, you know what I'm saying? Just all the safeties, Dwayne, you know what I'm saying? Vic, those guys, man, they hell of a ball players. So I look forward to watching them and the scheme they bring to the defense, and hopefully we capitalize off what they do for us.
I know Owen's, a linebacker. He's 235 pounds, but how well does he run? This is a guy that's pretty fast.
I haven't seen him run. Like, I'm trying to just run past him, so I'm not really focusing on him. But I do know that he's a very smart player. You know what I'm saying? And him his presence of being out there, I know that he's gonna make a lot of plays, and having guys next to him like Vincent Shavers, I believe in those guys, and I feel like our defense we got a shot this year.
Thanks, Corey.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.